guys, Jenny with On Fire Fit, and welcome to another episode of Shoe Review. I have a message I will be tying in with this, but first, let's look at the shoes. And this pair is a brand called Shoeland, and this is my first pair of Shoeland shoes. And they were sent to me by a viewer who asked me to review them. And so that is what I shall do today. They are really cute. So later on in the video, I will review the shoe. But first, let's have a little chat. Some of the things that I talk about are very recurring themes. I really end up sharing with you all what I am currently going through, what verses in the Bible I'm focusing on, the struggles that I might be carrying on with. Whatever is going on in my life usually is what is coming out in my videos. And it's very special to me, the fact that I have a group of people that understand my message, and so they are always sort of the undertow to On Fire Fit and keeping me focused and realizing that it's okay if not everybody gets the message, but that I should just keep on keeping on. And so sometimes we all go through times of discouragement. I mentioned in my other video about the little foxes, the little things that distract or pull me down. A lot of times it has to do with worries about what people will think of me, worries that people will misinterpret me, worries that people will be taken off the right path because of me. I really want to try to just shine God's light and give glory to Him and show you how I do life. But I know that sometimes people misinterpret my messages, or they see what they want to see. And so I kind of go through this battle on again, off again. And those of you who talk to me in my private life know that the struggle is real. And you may have some of the same things, or maybe different kinds of struggles. I also have different things where my jaw is very limiting for how much I can talk and how many videos I can make, and even for my work, how many patients that I can talk to, how many clients I can see, things like that. And so, all these little foxes and distractions that just kind of pull you in different directions can really start to wear you down. And so what I love to do is, when I have been going through something like that, I like to share with you how I move out of that, and so I don't get stuck in that pit. Today I was in the book of Philippians, and it's from chapter 4, and I'm reading from the Passion Translation. And this to me was so, oh goodness, I just got a new prayer journal, and I kind of took this verse and I broke it into sections. And so I'm going to kind of talk you through this, but this is how I reset my mind. And I told you before, when I do shoe review, I also always have a message connected to it. And a lot of times it has to do with a mind review. What's going on in your mind? What are you thinking? Just as much as we should care if our outfit is put together, we should be thinking about, where is my thinking? And so sometimes we have to get that reset in order to really be in a place where we can fulfill our purpose, have peace and joy, and really just, live the best life, right? The on fire life. So this set of verses I thought was so perfect for this season that I'm going through. Starting with Philippians 4 verse 6. Don't be pulled in different directions or worried about a thing. Be saturated in prayer throughout each day, offering your faith-filled requests before God with overflowing gratitude. Tell Him every detail of your life. Then God's wonderful peace that transcends human understanding will make the answers known to you, through Jesus Christ. So keep your thoughts continually fixed on all that is authentic and real, honorable and admirable, beautiful and respectful, pure and holy, merciful and kind, and fasten your thoughts on every glorious work of God, praising Him always. I'm going to tell you how I sectioned this off because sometimes we can read through something and it just sort of tumbles out and then we move on to the next thing. And what I really like to do is what they call meditate on the verse. So meditation has become a little bit more mainstream and people do this in different ways, how they choose to meditate. For me, I meditate on God's word, which they actually say it's sort of ruminate. You take something and you chew on it. You just keep on thinking and kind of going through it and applying it to your life. And this is how the Bible really started to change my life, because I grew up reading it, but I think I just kind of read it and then moved on. It was much more of a checklist situation. And now that I take a verse and I don't just try to hurry on to the next thing, I take it and I really think about it and I'm like, how do I apply that to my life? So I just came through a few weeks of feeling rather discouraged about a number of things. One is my health, my daughter's health, also just various things with On Fire Fit and knowing direction and purpose and feeling kind of like what I just talked about earlier. And so really kind of thinking about, okay, how do I avoid this situation of getting discouraged in the future? It's going to happen. I know that I'm a human, but what do I do to correct it as fast as I can or to prevent it? And this set of verses, I think, gives some very practical ways to do that. So one thing is, don't be pulled in different directions or worried about a thing. And it sounds like, yeah, pie in the sky, don't be worried about anything. How is that even possible? But again, going back to what I've talked about in the past, if I know that God loves me and He has the best in mind for me, then even my temporary struggles could be the thing that is strengthening me for the next step ahead. He knows what's going on. He knows the big picture. He knows the direction I'm going in and where I need to go. And so sometimes the struggle is necessary in order to move forward. Sometimes, though, the worry is rooted in something that is not true. And if I'm worried about what everybody thinks, and maybe they're not thinking anything at all, that would be one joke on me. Or maybe they're thinking it, but it's really on them. That's their problem. Then why do I let it cause me to worry? Or maybe it's about some future event that may or may not happen that I'm worried about. Again, if I know that God has the best in mind for me, then I don't need to worry about that. I let it be according to His will. So I just go back to God is my provider, and so I'm just going to rely on Him. How do I not worry? And how do I not get pulled in every different direction? Be saturated in prayer throughout each day. Saturated is such a perfect word. I love this translation because saturated is exactly what it is. Like, I want to be so full of prayer that you wring me out and prayers are coming out of me. Again, you don't have to be in a place where you're, sitting still and praying the whole day. I was walking through the house. My daughter was leaving for school, and I'm saying, Lord, be with her, protect her. Lord, be with her as she goes. You can say it on the fly. You can say it as you go. When I am filming, I will feel a lot of jaw pain. I just start with all those little arrow prayers. Lord, give me strength, relieve my pain. So this is where I consider this saturated in prayer, that I just bring it into my everyday part of my life. We offer our faith-filled requests before God with overflowing gratitude. So thanking Him, praising him, letting him know that he's boss, not me, thankfully. Tell him every detail of your life. Yes, he already knows it, but the reason that we tell him every detail is because it keeps us connected to him. And I've talked about this before, but if you have kids or you have a spouse or a girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever, you love it when they tell you about the stuff that's going on in their life. You love it when they call you and say, this is what's happening. You don't want them to just live their life and only come to you when they have a problem. And I believe that's the way we should be with God too. We talk to him about the good things, the bad things, the things that we are struggling with, the things that are wonderful. So making sure that we are telling him all the details of our life. Then God's wonderful peace that transcends human understanding will make the answers known to you through Jesus Christ. And I can attest to this. I will feel that peace that transcends human understanding. I have a beautiful friend, Shireen, who has a lot of health struggles with her kids. And you can tell when she has this peace that transcends human understanding. You cannot explain it, but it comes because you're centered on God and you know that he has the best in mind for you. Here's where I'm going to list things off, and this is where I kind of put it in a little bullet form in my journal. So keep your thoughts continually fixed, and here's your list. And this is a challenge because every now and then when I am not thinking correctly, I have to think about, do my thoughts line up with these words? Authentic, real, honorable, admirable, beautiful, respectful, pure, holy, merciful, and kind. And fasten your thoughts on every glorious work of God, praising him always. It's interesting because I have quite a few friends here on social media, and their interest might be more in the shoes or feet or something along those lines. But it's very interesting the interactions that I'll have with them, where they're very honorable, they're very respectful, they're very kind, and they use admiring kind of words. And I just think that that's so amazing because it's very easy in this world to let your thoughts go maybe in directions that are not the best for you. Sometimes I think people think, well, I don't want to be a believer because this seems too hard. And it's just easier to default into kind of a vulgar or worldly way of thinking. And yet I would challenge you to say, if it's leading you in a direction where you're living your best life, then fine, you stay with that. But if you're noticing that things are not really, there's something wrong, there's something missing, you feel like you kind of always end up at a dead end, or there just doesn't seem right to you, I would challenge you to say that's because you were made in God's image and we were made to think this way. It's the world and all the things that Satan brings into the world that really take us in these other directions that are easy. They're the default. They're the wide path. But when you're on the narrow path, you really feel right. And that's what I have noticed. It can be hard, but amazing at the same time. And, I know that we all go through different journeys in our life. You may not even think this makes a bit of sense right now, but maybe down the road, think about it. If you ever feel like you're just kind of going through the same repetitive motions and it doesn't seem to be leading anywhere, I would really challenge you to look at these verses. Again, it's from Philippians 4, and I like it in the Passion Translation because it's a very, more down to earth way of saying things, but just really brings you to a new level of peace that you could not fathom before. So I hope that gives you something to think about. This is the kind of thing that pulls me out of pits, or when I'm about to fall into the pit, and I really center my attention back on who God is, who He says I am, and what I need to be thinking. And I analyze my thoughts, review your thoughts, just like I'm going to review these shoes. Okay, so let's take a closer look, and I will review this beautiful pair of shoes. As I said before, this is Shoeland, and these are really cute. They're a velvety material, and they're obviously black. And yeah, oh goodness, I should bring a ruler out, right, to tell you how tall these are, but they do sort of propel you forward a little bit. I like to say that because if you're not a high heel wearer, or you have not gotten accustomed to them, I wouldn't start with a pair of shoes like this. I feel like they're not hard for me to walk in, but I do think that for like a newbie, they might be a bit much, just because they kind of pitch you forward, if that makes sense. So you want to try to have a pair of heels that kind of pulls your balance back a little bit more into the heel if you're a new high heel wearer. But I love them, and they're not hard for me to wear, but I would wear these to church, or to like a date night, or depending on what I'm wearing, maybe even with a more casual dress. And today I'm wearing a pencil skirt, and then I'm going to put on some other outfits, and you can tell me what you think. They have a cute little buckle that I love. And again, sorry, my legs are looking so cold lately. Okay, and so Shoeland is the maker, and I do like them. What else was I going to say? Oh, size of the shoe. This one is a 6.5. I wear a 6.5. I'm going to look here at the side of the box. Okay. So there you have it. Join the Shoeland squad. I'll have to hashtag that. Okay, and then 6.5, and if you're looking to purchase these, they come through Amazon. Herstyle Charming Open Toe Stiletto Heel. Okay, now we're going to go take a walk in these shoes. I'm walking in the pencil skirt, and I have on a black top, and I think this might be my favorite, but go ahead and tell me what you think. I have 3 outfits. Here we go. And here is kind of a black polka dot dress, and I do like this as well. I usually wear this dress to work or to church, and I would not wear these shoes to work because they're open, but I think it looks cute. And then here's with jeans. I always love heels with jeans, but what do you think? I would love to hear from you and what you like best. So I will show you a quick rundown of the full outfit. And so here we go, one after the other. And I just hope that you are having a wonderful day, and that you're living the best life you can live. And of course, that it's on fire. See you soon.